जामुना तीरा बोलो चारू। जामुना तीरा बोलो जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जाना जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Jashodanandana Jamuna Tira Bolo Jamuna Tira Bolo Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha
Hare Krishna. So we would like to welcome all the participants for this weekly association of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj. And we hope all of you will be very nicely situated at your places. And we are very fortunate to hear from Guru Maharaj every Thursday from 8 to 9 a.m. And today is the 30th session of seminar stories from Srimad Bhagavatam. We request all the devotees to kindly hear very attentively. And at the end, there will be a short quiz. Please participate in that also. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so as I told you earlier, that we are starting off with Krishna's pastimes today, and this will be our main topic, main discussion now. Like we have covered different activities, different pastimes, different pastimes of the Lord and his devotees. And what did we learn from those pastimes? We learned from those pastimes that devotion to Krishna is the ultimate goal of life. And one thing I was very much emphasizing the other day, when Britrasur was cursed, Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati, what did Lord Shiva tell her? She was saying this, look, this is the glory of a devotee. Although you cursed him, He didn't counteract. He didn't react. He did not even ask you to withdraw your curse. He was not even worried that he is going to take birth as a demon, as you have cursed him. And he actually pointed out that that shows that to a devotee, going to heaven or going to hell is irrelevant. Is not perturbed by any of these situations. And that is the important thing to remember. And also another point came up from Draupadi's episode, that these pastimes of Lord is actually indicating that surrendering to the Lord gives us the greatest safety. And the Lord proves that time and time again. And I read out, Kirti Kumari made that point. Is she around? Anyway, okay. That letter she wrote to me, and I thought it was a very nice point that she made. She said that if anyone came to her protection at that time, whether Bhishma or whoever, then Krishna's glory wouldn't have been. The fact that Krishna is the ultimate shelter, that wouldn't have become clear. So Krishna is the supreme shelter for a devotee, and depending upon Krishna is the ultimate goal of life. If anyone else came, then that opportunity wouldn't have been there to show what Krishna does for his devotees. That is why you have to understand that actually it was Krishna's divine arrangement, that everyone else were inactive with their own considerations. Bhishma, actually it was Bhishma's problem, that he was too concerned about niti. He was too concerned about right action. Niti means virtuous acts. But anyway, these are pastimes. Like in this way, different individuals' characters are being displayed, but ultimately what is the main consideration, the main factor is that Krishna is Bhakta Vatsal. Krishna protects his devotees. And this way we learn so much. Like otherwise we tend to depend upon so many other factors. But what is, now that we are in Krishna consciousness, what should be our intention? Our main intention should be just depend upon Krishna, and that's it. And let Krishna do whatever he wants to do. In our experience, we also notice that in loving relationships, things take place, but that simply enhances the loving relationship. In this respect, I often think of one thing, is that the father, sometimes don't the father throw the little baby up? It looks like the father is throwing the baby. But then the father catches the baby, and when the father throws the baby gets into anxiety. Right? But then when the father catches the baby, then the baby laughs, the father laughs. So that act of throwing the baby up in the air may appear to be a dangerous situation, but this is a way to experience the joy of catching the baby in the mid-air. So in a similar way, we can consider from time to time, Krishna may put us in that kind of situation. And at that time, should we tell Krishna, Krishna, why did you put me in that situation? If we question that, then Krishna will say, okay, then I'm not going to catch you. Therefore, our business is simply to depend upon Krishna. And I'm sure everybody goes through these situations. And the more we go through these kind of situations, the better it is for us. And we are seeing in these through these episodes that devotees' lives are not always strewn with the bed of roses. Devotees are put into difficulties, so many difficulties. Look at what happened to Prahlad Maharaj. His own father is making him go through all these extremely dangerous situations. So that way we see how Krishna is the ultimate shelter. We are not in Krishna consciousness to have a pleasant, peaceful life strewn with bed of roses. But we are in here to learn how to depend upon Krishna and experience the joy and also the safety of depending upon Krishna. So now we are coming to direct Krishna's pastimes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the most important chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th Canto. The 10th Canto is considered to be the body, the 10th Canto has been considered to be the smiling face of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam is the body of the Lord. First two cantos are the legs. The third and fourth cantos are the thighs of the Lord. Fifth canto is the abdomen of the Lord. Sixth canto is the chest of the Lord. Seventh and eighth cantos are the hands of the Lord. Ninth canto is his neck. And 10th canto is his smiling lotus face. I just remembered one thing. The other day before yesterday, I told Subhadra Sundari, who doesn't understand Hindi, make some arrangement for her for someone to translate to her. So any volunteer? Okay. I thought of Shamperi actually. Go Shamperi, you can. Yeah, Radhaperi was not there at that time. Okay, she is sitting there. Renu, raise your hand. There she is. Thank you, Shamperi. Her daughter Renu speaks French also. Renu speaks Hindi also, but she was telling me that her Hindi was not good enough to translate. And although she's a linguist, she speaks English, she speaks French, she speaks Bhojpuri, Hindi. She's from Paris. And so, okay. So now Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharataha abhuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamaham. Whenever there is a decline, adharma, wherever there is an increase of irreligiosity, and dharmasya glani, there is a decline of religious principles. Religious principle goes down and irreligiosity prevails. Meaning the law and order turns upside down. The law and order, which is dharma, people don't act according to the dharmic principles, don't act according to the Lord's instructions. They give up, they totally disregard the instructions of the Lord and act in total defiance of the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just as in a kingdom, if the law and order is in disarray, what will the king do? Will the king allow that to continue? Or the king will intervene, come with, either send his army to take care of or police to take care of the miscreants, or he himself will go. And like in this respect, I often think of the situation in Singapore when Singapore became the nation. Previously, Singapore was a part of Malaysia, but then Singapore became separate. And the Lee Kuan Yew, did I pronounce the name all right? Lee Kuan Yew. Okay. Lee Kuan Yew became the ruler, the prime minister of the country. And prior to that, Singapore was the den of the lawbreakers. It was a den of mafias and all kinds of very, very undesirable activities used to go on. Massive drug trafficking, massive smuggling, massive, like mafiosi. And Lee Kuan Yew then he just gave them 7 days. He said, surrender your arms and surrender the contraband things like drugs and all. 7 days. If you don't, and if you're caught, be prepared for the consequences. And those who did not, what happened? Anyone found with an illegal arm was given death sentence. Anyone found with illegal ammunition, death sentence. Life imprisonment. Anyone found with drugs, intoxicants, illegal intoxicants, death sentence. So much so that, like, anyone littered on the street, like if you dropped even a piece of paper on the street, immediately fine of a large sum, like $50 or something. And I heard people used to walk on the road. There was no respect for law and order. So instead of walking on the footpath, they used to walk on the road. And so he had kind of vehicles with spikes sticking out. So if somebody was walking like that, those vehicles like rickshaws or something like, and that would hit them, those spikes would hit them to make them realize that this is not the place to walk. That's the place to walk. So much so that, that's like when you go to Singapore, before you land, there is an announcement that if you are carrying any kind of intoxicants and drugs, please don't take it in the country because the penalty is death sentence. A few years back, 2 Australian girls were caught with some intoxicants, gave death sentence. And there was a huge upheaval all over the world and appeal from all the countries. But the government didn't budge. This is our law and we are going to stick to the law. And the result is Singapore is one of the most peaceful countries in the world. Most well-organized state in the world. So this is how the law, it is the responsibility of the heads of the states to take care of the law and order. Law and order. Order comes by establishing law. And how do you establish law? Crime and punishment. If there is crime, there is punishment. Then no one will break the law. I think the other day I was mentioning about Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, they have a law that if anyone is caught stealing, then his right hand is chopped off. This is just to mention about just one of the things. And so one English journalist was writing about his experience in Afghanistan, and so he just exclaimed, "Oh, what a terrible punishment." But his friend, Afghan friend, who was actually telling him about that, he said, "But you have been in Afghanistan for so long. Did you see a single person with his hand chopped off?" So when the law is so strictly established, then no one will dare to break the law. So in a similar way, in this world, Krishna establishes the law, and that law is called dharma. So when people don't abide by that law, then Krishna himself comes and he takes care. So through Krishna's pastimes, that point becomes very, very clear. He caused so many people to die. And who are those people? Like just in 18 days' time, about something like, I can't even remember what the number is, few million people were dead in 18 days' time. They are in the battlefield, they are fighting the war, and they are killed. Okay, Jarasandha attacked Krishna, attacked Mathura 17 times. And mind you, in Kurukshetra battle, the total number of military force was 18 Akshohini. Whereas after Kamsa was killed, Jarasandha, who was his father-in-law, Kamsa attacked Krishna or Mathura 17 times, and each time he came with the army of 23 Akshohini. 23 Akshohini. Like much larger than the army that gathered in two sides. Pandava side had 7 Akshohini, Kaurava side had 11 Akshohini. Whereas Jarasandha came with 23 Akshohini soldiers, 17 times, and Krishna wiped it out 17 times. And in this respect, the question came up, why, and each time Krishna let Jarasandha go. He wiped out his entire army, but he let Jarasandha go. So the question is, that why Krishna spared Jarasandha? Why didn't he kill Jarasandha? The answer is, actually Jarasandha was Krishna's recruiting agents. Jarasandha was Krishna's recruiting agent, And he was collecting all these demons and bringing them to Krishna to slaughter, so that Krishna didn't have to go himself. So Jarasandha brought them to Krishna, and Krishna wiped them out. So this is how Krishna takes care of the miscreants. And by annihilating the miscreants, eventually Krishna establishes the law and order and creates a peaceful situation in this material nature. So a situation became like that at one point. The demoniac kings became so powerful, and they created their army to rule over and control the affairs of this world, so much so that Mother Earth became so burdened. She couldn't tolerate that anymore. She was completely afflicted. She was completely agonized. So she approached Lord Brahma. Please do something about it. Look at my condition. Look at what they're doing to me. So then Brahma saw that he actually cannot rectify that situation. So he admitted that, look, it's beyond my control. These individuals who are creating this chaos all over the world, I cannot really take care of them. So let's go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is lying in the milk ocean. So Brahma went to the Lord Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, who lies in the milk ocean, along with that cow, Mother Earth in the form of a cow, and the demigods. And there he prayed to the Lord, reciting the mantra called Purusha Shukta. And understanding Brahma's concern and Brahma's prayer, Brahma's appeal, the Lord communicated with him without appearing in front of him. In his heart conveyed the message, don't worry Brahma, I'm coming. I will come, and you tell all the demigods to take birth in the Jadu family. So Brahma conveyed that message to all the demigods, and the demigods took birth in the Jadu family at that time. And in the meantime, Devaki got married to Vasudeva. Vasudeva is a very, very pious personality, very wonderful personality, very wise, very self-controlled, and very generous, very wise. And when they were getting married, Kamsa, who was actually the ruler of all this, the leader of all the demons, he defeated all the demons, and all these demons became subordinate to him. He was an extremely powerful person. And he was actually the son of a demon. His father actually is another very wonderful person. He was the king of Mathura. His name was Ugrasen. Ugrasen. Although his father was such a pious person, but Kamsa was a demon. How did it happen? Once, Kamsa's mother, Ugrasen's wife, Padmavati, was strolling in a beautiful garden, and at that time a demon called Drumila saw her and became enchanted by her beauty. And this demon had the power to change himself and assume some other form. So he, being attracted by her, assumed the form of Ugrasen, her husband, and approached her and molested her. And as a result of that, she became pregnant, and the result was this demon Kamsa was born. In a way, the son of Ugrasen, but he was actually not his son. And that's why he didn't develop his father's qualities, but he developed the demoniac qualities. So Kamsa was very affectionate towards his cousin, and the Kamsa's relationship with Devaki was, Ugrasen's brother was Devak, and Devak's daughter was Devaki. So Devaki got married to Vasudev, and and Kamsa himself was driving the chariot in order to display his affection towards his sister to her husband's home. Vasudev and Devaki were in the chariot and Kamsa was driving. And then an announcement was heard from the sky. A voice spoke that, Kamsa, do you know that the sister that you are carrying so affectionately to her husband's house, he is his, or rather their 8th son is going to kill you. I mean, just by hearing that, you can see, like, Kamsa was immediately transformed. In one hand, he was so affectionate to his sister, he was carrying her to her in-laws' house. And as soon as he heard that her son is going to kill him, he immediately caught Devaki by her hair with his left hand. With his right hand, he pulled out his sword, and he was about to chop off her head. Vasudeva was very wise. He also heard that announcement. And this kind of announcement is called Daivavani or Akashvani. The announcement from the sky, or the announcement made by the demigods. So he also heard, but he said, look, Kamsa, you are such a hero. That everybody worships, all over the world, you are known for your heroism. And now if you kill your own sister, it'll be such a blemish in your character. And after all, why are you so worried about your death? Because death is born along with the birth of the person. Life actually is a continuous progress towards death. Nobody can avoid his death. And as one acts accordingly, he creates his next body. Just as when we walk, we take one step, and when that step is securely established on the ground, then we take the next step. And the other foot moves forward. Then that foot is established on the ground, then the other foot moves forward. So this is how a living entity progresses life after life, from one body to another body. So why worry so much about death? Like, on the other hand, you should be concerned about your reputation. And he said, anyway, it is the 8th son is going to kill you. So why kill Devaki? Devaki's 8th son is going to kill you. So I promise that as the children are born, I'll bring them to you and you can do whatever you want to do with them. Kamsa knew that Vasudeva was a very truthful person. So Kamsa said, okay. He liked the idea. He is not going to blemish his own reputation, heroic reputation. At the same time, purpose will be served. When the eighth son is born, I will kill him. And so in this way, Kamsa let Devaki and Vasudeva, spared Devaki and Vasudeva. They went back. In course of time, a child was born. And true to his word, Vasudeva took the child, took it to Kamsa. Kamsa was impressed. He knew that Vasudeva was a very truthful person, but he could also recognize that what it takes for a father to bring his newborn baby to somebody when he knows that he is going to kill him. So this is Vasudeva, perfectly situated in the mode of goodness. Actually, Vasudeva, the word Vasudeva means Vishuddha Sattva, pure goodness. And Krishna appears in pure goodness. That's why Krishna appeared as the son of Vasudeva, the personification of pure goodness. In pure goodness, one does not have any selfish consideration. He is perfectly situated in transcendental nature. So Kamsa was impressed and he was touched by this act of Vasudeva. So Kamsa said, look, I have nothing to fear from this child of yours. So take him back. He's the eighth son that I should be afraid of. So, although Vasudeva knew that it was nice, although he was happy that that Kamsa didn't kill that child, but he also knew that a person like Kamsa cannot be trusted because their attitude may change at any moment. He already saw what happened to him, how Kamsa changed. When he was bringing them after marriage, in one hand he was showing so much affection to Devaki. But immediately, as soon as he heard that voice from the sky, his nature changed, his attitude changed. He was about to kill her. So anyway, Vasudeva couldn't trust Kamsa, but Kamsa spared the child. And then Kamsa, in the meantime, Narad Muni came to Kamsa. And Narad Muni told Kamsa, Kamsa, look, the demigods have made this arrangement. They are already born in different Jaduda families. The demigods have taken birth. And this is all a ploy, an arrangement to kill you. So Vasudeva's son, eighth son, is going to kill you. But did you ever consider the eighth son from front back or back to front? So any son can be counted as eighth son. So don't take any chance. Kamsa was really perturbed. And he saw some sense in Narad Muni's statement. The question arises, why did Narad Muni do that? Isn't it? Why did Narad Muni do that? Actually, what happened is, when the demigods saw that Kamsa spared the firstborn, the demigod got worried. Because when the child survives, the mother takes a long time to conceive the next baby. But if the child dies, then very quickly the mother conceives. So they were telling Narad Muni, please do something about it. Let Krishna come quickly and get rid of Kamsa. So that's why Narad Muni came and gave this advice to Kamsa. So that all these children should be killed right after their birth, and then Krishna will appear. So that's why Narad Muni did that. Anyway, so then upon hearing Narad Muni's statements or advice, Kamsa thanked Narad Muni. Thank you so much, Narad Muni, for being such a well-wisher of mine. And then Kamsa got the child, killed the child, just taking the child and throwing the child onto the stone floor, and arrested Devaki and Vasudeva, put them in the prison, so that he can make sure that their children are killed right after their birth. Now there is another aspect of this another divine arrangement. Kamsa in his previous life was Kalnemi, a demon. And his anyway, let's not get into all that. The point is, actually I was thinking that let's stick to Krishna's thing. Let's not sidetrack because it takes up. Anyway, their Kalnemi's sons were Kirtimantas. They were 6 sons, and they were performing austerities to become the king. And that was Hiranyakashipu's time. And Hiranyakashipu cursed that you'll be killed by your own father. And these Kalnemi, these 6 sons, became Kirtimantas, and the demigods made arrangements for the sons to come and be born as Devaki's children. And that's why Kamsa was killing them one after another. It was the arrangement of it was the divine arrangement of the Lord. So they were killed, it was a result of their previous curse. Anyway, so let's come back to the main topic. So, one after another, 6 sons were born and they were killed. Then Baladev came as the 7th son in the womb of Devaki, Shankarshan. And when he was 7 months old in the womb of Devaki, Krishna told Mahamaya to transplant Devaki's womb into Rohini's womb. Rohini was another wife of Vasudeva. Being troubled by Kamsa, so many of Vasudeva's relatives and wives ran away to different paths to avoid Kamsa's persecution. And Rohini was in Braj, in Vrindavan, in the house of Nanda Maharaj. And on the 7th month of the pregnancy, Shankarshan or Balaram, the 7th pregnancy, was transferred to Rohini's womb. But to Kamsa, it seemed that Devaki had a miscarriage. So the general belief was that Devaki had a miscarriage. The seventh child was a miscarriage, and Balaram appeared as the seventh son, and she was transferred to Rohini's womb. Then, as the eighth son, Krishna came. Kamsa could recognize that something is happening now. He saw that after conception, Devaki became so beautiful. She became so effulgent. She looked so divine. So Kamsa could suspect that now Vishnu has come as the son. In one hand, Kamsa was very, very worried. But at the same time, Kamsa started to consider what happened, what to do. Kamsa did not want to kill Devaki. He was afraid. He did consider about killing Devaki, but at the same time he was afraid. So he considered, let the child be born and then I'll kill the child, rather killing Devaki. He was waiting, and this time so much caution was taken. They were not only in a prison, but the arrangement was made that nobody would be able to come near the prison. Even the animals, the birds, could not fly over the prison. But in spite of all that arrangement, the demigods came and started to offer their prayers to Krishna in the womb of Devaki. Beautiful prayers. My Lord, now you have come, and we feel so reassured that you have come to deliver us from our suffering condition. And in due course of time, the baby was born. The child was very beautiful and very unusual. He appeared with his four-armed form. And Vasudeva and Devaki's heart was filled with parental affection. But at the same time, they became afraid that this beautiful child has been born, but now Kamsa will come and kill him. So then the Lord assured them, don't worry. I have come here to kill Kamsa. Nobody can kill me. That miscreant is now going to be taken care of. And he suggested that take me to the house of Nanda Maharaj on the other side of the river, Jamuna. Mother Jashoda also gave birth to a daughter. So you place me and pick the daughter up and bring the daughter back here. And at that time, the chains that bound Vasudeva automatically fell off from his hands and feet. The doors of the prison became wide open. All the guards and the sentries fell asleep. Vasudeva picked up the child and walked out of the prison. And there was a torrential rain. And Anantashesha appeared there and spread his hood over Vasudeva's head to protect him from the rain. When Vasudeva came to the river, he found that the river was in full spate, completely. The water was flowing with a tremendous current. and the water was overflowing from the banks, and he became worried how to cross the river. But then he saw a small jackal. Jackal's height is about this high. Came and started to walk in front of him across the river. So Vasudeva felt, wow, the river is not that deep. This jackal, this fox is walking. So he also started to follow the jackal. And it was true, the water was only ankle deep. But when he came to the midstream, then all of a sudden the baby fell out of his hand. And the current was so strong and he was in total anxiety. Where to find the baby, where did the baby go? And he started to look for the baby and couldn't find the baby. And naturally, by this current, the baby must have been swept away. Vasudeva started to cry. But then all of a sudden, he touched the baby, picked him up. What happened? Jamuna Devi felt Krishna came so close and I won't get a chance to play with him. And as a result of that, Krishna fell out of his hand and Jamuna played with Krishna for a while and then went back to Vasudeva's lap.
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. So thank you very much for watching. So now is the time for quiz. Video on. Okay, so the first question is, we are requested to kindly see the options first and then give your answer. Whose example Guru Maharaj gave for Krishna is the ultimate shelter? And the options are Pandavas, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Draupadi. Okay, let's see what is the correct answer. The correct answer is Prahlad Maharaj. And the correct answer is given by Mayapur base. Haribol. Okay, the next question is, Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to the body of the Lord and 10th Canto is compared to dash. There is no option. Okay, let's see what is the correct answer. The smiling face of the Lord. And the correct answer is given by Krishna Kirtan Prabhu. Haribol. Okay, next question. Krishna did not kill Jarasandha during the different clashes because options are Jarasandha was more powerful, Jarasandha was Krishna's secret agent, Jarasandha was bringing hope, none. Okay, Okay, the current answer is none of the above. And the but what is the correct answer? Okay, anybody was able to give? Okay, so this answer is also given by Krishna Kirtan Prabhu Haribol, and the correct answer is Jarasandh was the recruiting agent for bringing demons to be killed by Krishna. Okay, next question. Which of the following is not a teaching of Vasudev to Kamsa? Death is born along with life. Life is a continuous progress toward death. Life is a mutual preparation towards death. Death is inevitable. Okay, let's see what is the correct answer. The correct answer is C. Life is a mutual preparation towards death. And correct answer is given by Paramita. Haribol. Okay, let's see the last question. Kamsa was born as the son of Dash and Padmavati. And the options are Dhrumi, Dumil, Dhrumil, none. Okay, so the correct answer, let's see what is the correct answer first. The correct answer is 3, Dhrumil. And the correct answer is given by Krishna Kirtan Prabhu. Haribol. So thank you very much for your enthusiastic participation. And we look forward to have all of you association for this weekly class by Guru Maharaj. And we are going to share today's quote. Guru Maharaj is saying, when we give out Srila Prabhupada's book, people are actually getting an opportunity to perceive the spiritual world. So let them see what the spiritual world is like. Let them see how to go back to Godhead. Let them recognize the importance of going back to the spiritual world and the benefit of going back to a spiritual world. So when we give these books to people, we are actually opening the gate of spiritual sky for them. This was spoken by Guru Maharaj on 1st December 2017 at Christmas Marathon message, as a Christmas Marathon message. So we thanks everyone for your active participation. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.